Okay, we are recording now.
Fantastic.
We only just started talking, what, like 5 minutes ago, probably less than that, 3 minutes ago. So, would you like to introduce yourself with the name that you're comfortable using on the internet? Oh, I see you've already got Luka there, so
Luka, I mean, yeah, that's
yeah.
fine.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm 19.
Okay.
I don't know. Any other introduction necessary?
Not no, I don't know. I mean, we're going to talk about a bunch of different things. Thanks for being my guinea pig on this.
And thank you for providing this free service.
For sure. And for those watching, just a little bit of explanation as to what my thought process has been, kind of, um, and for you, if you want, just in case you want to know. I think that if more people knew how to type other people, then more people would be doing it for free, and they would be driving down the cost of typing services, if not putting them out of business. I don't think it's necessary to have like people charging $200 to have your personality type figured out because it's not. I don't think it's that complicated. Like there are some gotchas, but anyways, I figure if I make enough videos where I'm typing people like this is not my job. Like this is just a side thing. So like, I don't run a typing service.
Hmm.
So anyways, um, so I guess we could probably just jump right in, if you don't mind. And then
I do not mind.
And then at the end, if you have any questions for me, I mean, I'm just gonna shower you with questions. So,
Go for it. Yeah,
um,
I'm ready.
and the other thing I wanted to mention too is, you may have taken tests and stuff like that. Don't tell me what you got, and we'll talk about it at the end or whatever.
I will not tell you. No.
Okay, and the other thing is, unlike other like paid typologists, I'm not gonna like point at you and say you're a that. I'm gonna I'm gonna talk to you and ask you some questions that require certain kinds of like ability to think a certain way really well, and then at the end I'm gonna tell you what I think you are, and then we can talk about it, and you can tell me if you think you
Yeah,
agree.
in comparison to what? Yeah.
Exactly. So it's going to be more of a collaborative thing than it is me trying to fit you into a box. It will be more like us just talking about it and you kind of getting a second opinion about it.
All right, groovy.
Cool.
Let's do it.
So there's no pressure of saying the wrong thing or whatever. All right. Let me ask. Let me like where to start. Um, the question. I'm sure that you're going to know a lot of what I'm driving at in some of these questions. So, but try to just tell me that you have nothing to lose from telling me exactly how it is. So,
Okay.
um, but would you say that you are an idealist?
Um, it's hard to. I'd say I slightly lean that way.
Okay.
Um, just because I don't know. I think I'm able to um, convince myself of my ideas being sort of able to happen in the future, maybe more than they are
Okay.
at times.
Okay.
But I don't know. I'm also I don't know. I do consider myself a somewhat realistic person. It's hard to say. Really, on the scale, I'd say I'm slightly more idealistic than not.
Okay. Okay. So not like the most idealistic person, but not exactly a hard realist in that sense, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, would you say that you are comfortable when other people are getting emotional around you, or does that make you uncomfortable? Like maybe I should put it this way. I wouldn't be comfortable
Yeah. Yeah.
if
No.
somebody's getting like emotionally weird around me.
Yeah.
But what I mean to
And
say is, do you feel like you have the equipment in your brain to help to comfortably help people who are having emotional issues, or is that something that is just not your aptitude?
um, it's. I don't think it's my aptitude. I do definitely desire, and I do sometimes active. I do think I have a certain level of empathy that even when people aren't talking about their emotional issues,
Mm-hmm.
I have a certain sense of them. Um, and so I think I'm good at analyzing a situation sort of from the outside, and making a judgment on it. But if someone's like just directly like sprinkling their emotions on me, I do often just kind of find myself like not knowing what to say, just kind of smiling and nodding, and like because most of the time, I mean, there's no, the way it's done, there's no really real solution to be offered. It's kind of like they're telling you, you can tell they're just trying to feel better about the situation.
Okay.
I don't I don't find it naturally within me to just say the right combination of words to console that.
And is it because you feel like it's their responsibility to manage their own feelings?
No, it's not. I think it's. I mean, I think people should try to manage their own feelings, but I think it's reasonable to go to someone else to help you out. I don't see a reason why that shouldn't happen.
So it's more like the words aren't necessarily there for you to.
Yeah, like I really like. I mean, there are times. I mean, when someone, isn't talking to me about their emotions or anything, but I can tell that something's going on.
Yeah.
I do desire to help. I'm not just like, hey, whatever, they'll deal with it. I do actually, want to help them if I can.
Okay. Do you feel at all like have you ever said the phrase "fuck your feelings" or something to the effect of like, facts don't.
I know that effect. Maybe something I might have said 7 years ago.
Okay.
I grow up. It's just so.
You wouldn't be that abrasive to say that.
It's not that it's not just that I wouldn't. I definitely would not. I have the tact not to say that. I wouldn't. It's kind of just stupid, edgy, like.
Edgelords.
Sort of 12-year-olds who think they discovered logic and just say stupid, meaningless shit like that. I mean, it's.
You know what? There's adults running around on the internet saying stuff like that too, and it's
that is true. And I've kind of just I've let go of hyperlogicality. I kind of understand. I feel like I understand the place of emotions. And I try to there are moments where I'll, a lot of people in my family have various mental issues, and some diagnosable, some just not really diagnosable, but there's something there. And even if I don't, I may have, in the past, just kind of looked at that as some of those things as irrational, but I kind of look at it now more through a lens of trying to understand what exactly is the mindset that leads people to act that way.
That leads them to
I accept. Yeah.
No, go ahead.
I accept that stuff. Yeah. I'm done.
Do you feel like you have a knack for understanding where people are coming from, even if you don't know exactly what to say? Do you feel like you understand what's going on?
I'd say more than average. I wouldn't say I have a crazy knack for it.
Okay.
To address kind of one approach your question could have taken, I'd say I'm very good at understanding where viewpoints come from. I feel like I almost feel like I know exactly why people think things.
Okay.
Obviously that's exaggerated. I don't necessarily, but
right.
I feel like I have a good instinct for it. Mm-hmm. In terms of if someone's telling me about a personal experience they had and how it affected them, that might be a little harder to relate to. I may be able to understand the feeling, but not maybe exactly in that context.
Sure, sure. Would you say that when it comes to, let's say, are you any good at like putting together furniture?
Um,
Like specifically,
it's like I like never do it.
okay, is it because you do you do it because you don't want to do it, or sorry, do you not do it because you don't want to do it, or do you not do it because you are not good at doing it?
Um, well, I've never feel like I'm rarely in situations where it would be necessary, whether I want to or don't.
Okay.
I think if I was given instructions, like an instruction booklet and some furniture,
Mm-hmm.
I'd be average to below average in speed in terms of putting it
Oh,
together.
okay. Okay.
You know, I wouldn't say I'd be particularly bad at it. I don't think I definitely would not have a knack of just like, oh, I see a broken, like if I see a broken chair, my thought is like, oh, well, okay, it's broken. That's that, I guess. It's not,
Sure.
okay, how can I put this together?
Sure. 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 Let me think about this for a second. How how easy or difficult is it for you to keep your personal space organized?
Um, I don't generally. Well, I live in to be specific, I live in a 2-room double
Okay.
in college. I'm a freshman in college.
Yeah.
It, you know,
Things are different, right?
things, you know,
Yeah.
they get messy and they stay that way.
Mm-hmm.
I, I don't, and I recently did like kind of a big cleanup. I'll do that every once in a while just to organize, and then things kind of start getting back to normal pretty quickly. I don't have, my instinct isn't to put my pants in the drawer; it's to put them on the floor. So
Right.
I might consciously, you know, put them in a drawer, but when I'm not thinking about it, they're going to go on the floor. Like it's kind of so generally it always goes to messy naturally.
Okay. And another question I have for you is, do you participate very much in like physical activities like sports or running or swimming or just like any like recreationally speaking, not like when you're forced to do it, but
At
just
the
like
moment, pretty much not at all. I don't know. I don't really exercise. I sometimes will in my room. Um, if I yeah. I played basketball and I swam at high school.
okay.
And I've kind of thought about doing basketball here again, but haven't gone around to it after a semester.
Do you like
And a
doing
semester has
sports?
passed. Yeah, I mean, yeah, and I really enjoy pickup basketball.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not crazy about the idea of like committing to a team and like doing all the other shit that you have to do when you're on a team.
Okay, okay.
So I mean,
So you like playing the sport, but not necessarily being part of sports. Is that would that be fair?
I would say that's accurate.
Okay.
And there's swimming, which yeah, I don't even know if I enjoy it
Would
without the team.
would you consider yourself a nonconformist?
Um,
Or to what
yes,
to what degree would you consider yourself a conformist or a nonconformist? Like where on that spectrum?
I do not. I'd say very much toward nonconformist. It kind of sounds bizarre saying that, but I don't think I'm a nonconformist in action as much as thought. I think how I think very has very little correlation to what the status quo may
Okay.
be around me. I think in terms of action, I don't feel any specific desire to break rules. You
Right.
know, in that sense, I might be more average, more toward the middle of the spectrum.
Sure.
Um, yeah.
So are you? What about? Let me ask you this as a completely different kind of question than what I've asked you.
Okay.
What is your mother's sister's daughter to you?
My mother's sister's daughter is my cousin.
Okay. And could you name three things? Sorry, could you name five things that these three things have in common?
Okay.
Steak, the moon, and trees.
Steak, like a meat steak.
Meat steak, yes.
Okay, steak, the moon, and
And trees.
trees. There. How many things? Five.
Five things, yeah.
Five things. They come from nature. They're not come from, but they're natural,
Sure.
natural thing. They exist. They're concrete
Yeah.
objects. They um,
What else you got?
okay, I'm thinking. Um, they all. I'm gonna have to probably get a little weirder with this. Then
Get as weird as you want to get.
they. Damn, steak, the moon, and trees.
Yep.
Um, they're all kind of cycle of life or something related.
Okay.
I would say.
I think we got two more
I mean,
here.
two more. Um, steak, the tree. Sorry, give me a sec.
No worries. All right, we'll call it.
I'm looking. I'm looking at none of them currently,
Okay. Good.
and I see all of them pretty much every day.
Okay. Man, you're lucky. You're eating steak every day.
Yeah, man. This dining hall is.
Oh man. All right. All right. That's good. Um, could you name?
What, out of curiosity, what would you have said? I mean, you don't have to actually. You can
Oh,
answer afterwards.
well, I unfortunately I have the benefit of having thought of that question already. So maybe you could come up with three other objects, and I will try to answer the question the same way.
Okay.
Try to go as different as possible.
Okay. Trash can, towel, billboard.
Okay, they're all objects that can be outside. They're all objects that are composed of matter. They all have space between their atoms. They're all nouns. They can all be dirty. They can all be in Mexico.
Interesting approach. I mean, I don't know.
I use it as a test for convergent thinking or introverted intuition. So it's to understand
I don't know.
how
Like,
universally do you think?
yeah, I mean that makes sense. I mean the way I was like, yeah, like stuff like there's space in between the atoms, and like that's and it can be something is like kind of
Right. It can be a thing.
yeah,
Yeah.
it can
Okay.
be dirty or whatever.
So I think I think an NI dominant would be able to probably answer that question pretty easily.
Yeah.
So I would say we can probably cross off INTJ and INFJ. So let's see here.
I'm sorry if I like got that out of you and you weren't supposed to say that until the end.
Got what out of me? What? No.
No, like
Asking me a
yeah,
question,
whatever.
you mean? No, that's fine. I don't mind sharing a little bit about how the sausage is made in a sense, because ideally, if you learned how to type people, then you could do a video. You could do some videos for free for somebody else too,
Yeah.
and save them some money. So, I was looking for introverted intuition. So like extroverted intuition, I don't want to spoil questions I'm going to ask you. So
Yeah, just keep going.
I'll unpack it.
No need to.
Yeah, I'll unpack it when
Okay.
we get to the end. Could you name? Here's another one for you.
Sure.
Could you name for me 5 uses of rope that are unconventional uses, like creative uses?
is, apart, you mean like apart from like tying a knot?
Yeah, something that wouldn't be like hanging yourself or tying a knot, but like something outside of the normal, outside of the box.
Okay. Okay, 5 uses for rope. Um, a belt.
Okay.
Um, a whip.
Okay.
Um, a blood. I don't know what that would be called, but it stops circulation.
Tourniquet.
Sure.
To cut off the circulation if you have an injury.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, tourniquet.
A tourniquet. A a fashion choice. You tie it around your leg like they used to do with the bandanas.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a thing? And a alternative to the sock on the doorknob.
Okay. Okay. Good. Did we get 5? I think that was 5.
That was 5. Yeah.
Would your friends say that you're really outgoing or kind of reserved?
A year ago, definitely reserved. Right now, it's like, honestly, like most would probably say outgoing.
Okay. What do you think? Do you think that you're just having
I,
a more
I think
outgoing period of life?
I do think I'm having I think I present myself as more outgoing than I am.
Okay. Okay.
Um,
Yeah.
I I don't know, I kind of play characters when I'm in groups of people, and it kind of makes it kind of easier just to be like super eccentric and weird, and people interpret that as very like
Sure.
outgoing, and I can be very talkative,
Mm-hmm.
but generally I'd say I'm in the middle, but maybe slightly on the reserve side.
Okay.
Like I think ways in which I'm more outgoing is I do definitely, I do want human interaction. I pretty somewhat consistently. I don't know if it's because I spend a lot of time alone. That's why I want it.
I mean,
And if I always spend time with people, maybe.
I think
But
I
I
think you're
still.
human, and humans want human interaction. You know
Yeah, I
what I
mean,
mean?
no, I don't mean it. By saying I crave you, like, not just like in the sense that any human, like, I think maybe even more than a lot of whatever introverts or whatever.
Okay. Okay.
At the same time, I'm very like somewhat terrified of initiation with people, like
Okay.
initiating it,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
can sometimes feel discomfort. And it very much varies my level of comfort in certain in situations.
Sure. Sure. Um. Oh, let's see here. Um. So I need to go refill my drink, and I need to think. Okay, I'm most of the way there. I'm about 75% of the way there. So
Okay,
I need to think
I'll be
about
here.
what is the question I need to ask next that will give me the most information. So I'm going to pause the recording, and I will be right back.
All right.